from 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 6 to 18. Reading from the New King James Bible, as found in the bulletin of our program. It says, "For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me on that day. And not to me only, but also to all those who have loved his appearing. Be diligent to come to me quickly, for Demas has forsaken me, having loved this present world, and departed for Thessalonica, Crescens and Galatia, Titus for Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Get Mark and bring him with you, for he is useful for me for ministry, And Titus I have sent to Ephesus. Bring the cloak that I left with Carpus at Troas when you come, and the books, especially the parchments. Alexander the coppersmith did me much harm. May the Lord repay him according to his works. But you also must beware of him, for he has greatly resisted our words. At first my defense, no one stood with me, but all forsook me. May it not be charged against him. But the Lord stood with me and strengthened me, so that the message might be preached fully through me, and that all the Gentiles might hear. Also the Lord delivered out of the mouth of the lion, and the Lord will deliver me from every evil work, and preserve me for his heavenly kingdom. To him be glory forever and ever. Amen." Just for a few moments, I want to preach from the subject. God will stand with you. God will stand with you. Would you pray with me? Father, we come before you this morning. We ask, Lord, that you be with us during this preaching hour. Lord, stand with us as we stand behind your sacred desk. And your people came to hear a word from you. And Lord, we ask that you just be with us now. And be with just everyone this morning. Maybe feeling ill, we ask you just to be with them. Touch their bodies. We know that your God is able to do it this morning. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen. God will stand with you. This morning in 2 Timothy, Paul is writing Timothy, and Paul is on one of the last legs of his journey. And really, he's in a prison getting ready for trial. And as he's in this prison getting ready for trial, he's telling Timothy some final words, final things that he needs for Timothy to do. And up early in this chapter, he told Timothy to preach the word. Be ready in season and out of season. For the time will come when their itching ears will turn to whatever people are saying, whatever their itching ears want to hear. But he tells Timothy, you be faithful and do the work of an evangelist. And then Paul lets him know that his journey is almost coming to the end. He's not at the sunrise of his ministry. He's really at the sunset of his ministry. But he doesn't care about what folk are saying. He cares more about being faithful to God. You know what, my friends, sometimes we got to put opinions to the side. Because at the end of the day, God is going to measure us by our faithfulness. Have we been faithful to what he called us to? Have we been diligent to do what he called us to do? Or did we just worry about everybody else? Paul tells Timothy, he says, you know what, even though I'm in the sunset now, I want you to know, look at verse 6, for I'm already being poured out as a drink offering. And the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. And I have kept the faith. And then notice this, he says, finally there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me on that day. Not to me me only, but also to all who have loved his appearing. Paul said, even though I'm at the sunset of my ministry, and even though the sun is going down on this side, Paul said, don't get too discouraged, Timothy, because when the sunset is coming on this side, I want you to know there's a sunrise coming up as well. Y'all don't catch that later on. You know, one of my mother's fathers, at the time of his passing, they looked at him and they asked him, the nurse came in the room and asked him, she said, Mr. Berry, what do you see? And at that time, it was a summertime, it was around about 8 o'clock, 8:30, and he said, you know what? I see the dawn of a new day. Yeah. Now, because it was the evening time, he was really looking at a sunset. Yeah. But because of what his mindset was, he said, I don't just see a sunset, I see a sunrise. Yeah. Y'all catch what I'm saying? Sometimes when things look like it's going to end, I want you to know this is not the end. It's just the beginning. Yeah. Paul says, even though I'm being poured out as a drink offering, I want you to know there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which only the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give. You know, man will give you some crowns, but as soon as you make a man mad with you, man will take away those crowns. I'm God on the day that the God that we serve, when he gives us a crown of righteousness, he is the righteous judge. Don't have to worry about somebody taking away, because what God has for you, it is for you. So Paul says, even though I'm at the sunset of my time, it's not the end for me. I'm going to appear before God. Yeah. He says, not just me, but everyone who is waiting for his coming back. And I'm glad to know that, yes, this life can be filled with ups and downs. Yeah. But the good news about life is that God is coming back. Yeah. I don't care how your day is right now. God is coming again. Yeah. I don't care how sickness may be in your body. This life is not the end of the road. There is another life that we're going to live. And guess what? If you've been faithful to God, he'll be faithful to you. Paul is encouraging Timothy. He says, you know, I know this is happening, but he says, be diligent to come to me quickly. Come to where I am. And then notice this, he mentions two people. He mentions first, he says in verse 10, he says, for Demas has forsaken me, having loved this present world, and having departed for Thessalonica. He mentions Demas. Then if you look down at verse 14, he mentions Alexander, the coppersmith. He says, Alexander sought to do me much harm. And he tells him, beware of Alexander. Yeah. This morning I want you to know, you have people in your life that's like a Demas and also like an Alexander. Yeah. Demas, you have taken them in. You now have taken them in, you've given them shelter. You helped them out when you didn't even have. You made sure they had. Demas, you've mentored along the way. Demas, you've helped along the way. But guess what? As much help as you've helped Demas with, those people sometimes will still forsake you. Y'all are turning with me. I'm not talking about enemies. I'm talking about friends that you have been friendly to. People that you have loved more than they love themselves. You have done everything you can for them. And instead of them saying thank you, as soon as they're able to, they turn their back on you and go back to what they love. Y'all are praying with me this morning. And then you got folks like Alexander. Alexander ain't like Demas because Alexander, he didn't forsake them. He just told them the whole time, I don't like you. Yeah. I don't want to be around you. I don't like you. And I don't like you. But he sought to do them harm. Yeah. You know what? I don't mind this morning to have a few Alexanders in my life. Yeah. Because everybody ain't going to be on your side. Yeah. Alexander, you know, he doesn't mean you any good. He tells you I don't mean you any good. Yeah. But it doesn't hurt much to have the Alexanders as much as it hurts to have the Demas. Yeah. The ones you have taken in, the ones you have shown love to still turn their back on you. Yeah. And you know what? And it's amazing because Paul had a lot of people around him But don't you know sometimes when you get in your moment of crisis, people will forsake you. And he said, even though I had a whole crowd around me, they all forsook me. I don't know if you've ever been like that, where you've had friends in your life, and you feel like you got a lot of friends, a lot of family around, and everything is good. But as soon as your money got funny, as soon as your chains got strained, as soon as your back was up against the wall, they all left you. They all left you by yourself. You ain't been the first person like that, because Jesus had 12 disciples. And things were good while things were good. But don't you know the moment that the Roman soldiers came in, Peter cut the man's ear off. Jesus put the man's ear back on. And he told me, he said, before the rooster crowed 3 times, you were going to deny me. Peter said, Lord, you got the wrong person. I'll never leave you back. I got you back. You boys from a long time. I got you. But don't you know, as soon as that rooster had crowed 3 times, Peter denied him 3 times. Even at the foot of the cross, the only disciples that's recorded to be the disciple of John. Where is the other 12? When Jesus needed them, where are the other 12 when his back is up against the wall? But I want you to know this morning, no matter who leaves you, I got a friend that will never leave you. I know somebody that will never leave you and never forsake you. When family do you wrong, when friends do you wrong, I know somebody who will stick by you in your hardest situation. His name is Jesus Christ. Did you notice that what the text said? Look at this. He says in verse 17, he says, even though they left me, and even though they forsaken me, notice what he said. He said, but the Lord stood with me and strengthened me. Oh, you ought to give God praise right there. I don't know if you ever had to stand by yourself, but sometimes when you got to stand by yourself, it's a lonely place. But aren't you glad when you got to stand by yourself? You're not alone, because God has your back, and God will stand with you. When other folk leave you alone, God will stand with you. And I remind this one of the book of Ephesians. It tells us in spiritual warfare to put the helmet of salvation on, put the breastplate of righteousness, have your feet shod in the gospel of preparation. And he tells us to put all these warfare clothes on. But with all the armor that we got on, he don't tell us to fight. He just said, after you've done everything that you can, stand. You know what? Sometimes in life, it's not about me fighting somebody. Sometimes it's just me learning how to stand for what I believe. Stand when nobody else wants to stand with me. Stand and know that I'm not by myself. Sometimes you need to learn how to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Oh, dear God, praise the Lord. I don't know if you've ever been here, but sometimes I'm out of solutions. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't figure it out. And I get to a place that my prayer ain't the most polished prayer. But I say, Lord, if you don't fix it, I don't know how it's going to get fixed. And all I know is say, Lord, I'm going to give it over to you. I don't know if you've ever been here, but I've seen God do some miraculous things. Where you feel like all hope is gone. But guess what? When we are ready to give up, that's when God does his best work. In our weakness, that's when he is made strong. I'm glad to tell somebody this morning that God will stand with you. And Paul, he's in the jail. And as he's in the jail, he feels like he's all alone. Paul said, even though they left me, I want you to know God, he stood with me. He stood by me. My friend, sometimes when you feel like the elder folk have left you, I want you to know you can always know that God will stand with you. And not only did God stand with him, notice what verse 17 says. It says, but the Lord stood with me and strengthened me. You know what? Not only will God stand with you, but God will strengthen you for the journey. You know, sometimes when you're on this journey, there's times that you get weary. There's times that you get tired and you're ready to throw in the towel. Y'all look strange to me. Have y'all ever been there? Where you just feel like just giving up. Sometimes you're right at the edge of your breakthrough. And the devil will tell you, you might as well give up right now. But I'm glad to tell you this morning that God will come beside you. He'll strengthen you for the journey. He'll give you more than what you need for the journey. Don't you remember in the Garden of Gethsemane when Christ was praying? And the Bible says he prayed till almost like sweat, like blood, came from his forehead. And he said, Lord, he didn't want to do it. He said, let this cup pass from me. But nevertheless, at now, I'll go ahead and do what you have me to do. And the Bible says that while he was in the garden praying, guess what his disciple was doing? They were sleeping. I don't know if you've ever been there, but sometimes when you're going through your rough time, you need somebody praying for you. They look like they sleep on the job. Y'all don't got to say amen, but they sleep on the job. But the Bible says while they were sleeping on the job, that the angels came beside and gave them strength for the journey. That the angel came beside Christ and strengthened him for what he needs to do. I'm glad when man sleeps on you, that God will send his angels to come beside you and strengthen you for the journey. Didn't understand that as a child, but all of you say, all night and all day, the angels watching over me. Thank God for God's angels that will strengthen you. For the you get weak, you get tired. But guess what? Don't give up. Because God will strengthen you for the journey. I'm glad this morning. Because we can't depend on our own strength. Isaiah said, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not get weary. They shall walk and not faint. I used to think you need more strength to fly than you need to walk. But then I started realizing you don't just need more strength to walk or run. You really need more strength sometimes just to keep walking right. Flying may not be that hard. Because when you get a little speed up, you can fly. When you want to run, you can run. Nobody really has to teach you how to run. But learn how to walk. You got to hold on to some stuff. You're going to stumble around sometimes. You're going to mess up sometimes. But thank God that God will come beside and give you strength that you're able to walk. Give God praise this morning. Paul says, I thank God that God stood with me. I thank God that God strengthened me. But notice this, and then I'm going to take my seat. He says, look at verse 17, he said, but the Lord stood with me and strengthened me so that the message might be preached fully through me, and that all the Gentiles might hear. And I was delivered out of the mouth of the lion. And Lord will deliver me from every evil work and preserve me for his heavenly kingdom. To him be glory forever and ever. Amen. He said, not only did God stand with me and strengthen me, but he said the reason why God stood with me and strengthened me wasn't necessarily for me, but was so that the work might go on. He says there was a message that needed to be preached to the Gentiles. And God commissioned me to do that message. And he said, even though others forsake me, he said God stood with me and God strengthened me in order that I could preach the message to the Gentiles. You know what? Sometimes when you're doing the work for God, folk will sometimes think that if they don't do the work with you, that the work will not go on. But the good thing about God is if God called you to do something, he'll put the right people in your path. to get done what you need to get done. Don't ever think one person controls the show. Never allow one person. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's always about God. God has a message that he wants preached. And guess what, my friend? He'll use you. He'll use me to get his message out. And he said, I thank God that not only did God stand with me, not only did God strengthen me, but God saved me this morning. He delivered me out of the mouth of the lion. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about, man. The lion's mouth. I don't know if y'all watch National Geographic, but they tell me the lion's jaw is one of the strongest jaws in the world. The lion's jaw can take even 10 times the weight of the lion. And he can snap down with that mouth. And you can't get away from that lion's mouth. And you know what, my friend, there's some situations that sometimes we feel like we're in the middle of the lion's mouth. Where it looks like, God, how did you let me get right here? But I want to tell somebody this morning that God will save you in the middle of the lion's mouth. You know what, if I could talk to Daniel this morning, Daniel was doing nothing but living right. Y'all missed that. Daniel was doing nothing but living right. They tried to find something on Daniel to try to mess up Daniel. But the only thing they could find about Daniel that was wrong was that Daniel prayed 3 times a day. And his haters got mad because he prayed so much. So they tried to find some charges against Daniel. And they told the king, Daniel's not loyal towards you. The old king made a decree. They said, whoever don't bow down, whoever doesn't pray to me, they're going to be in trouble. And Daniel didn't want to bow down. Daniel did not want to pray. And the king had Daniel thrown in the lion's den. Don't you know, with all those lions around there, Daniel should have got help the first step he got down there. With those lions down there, Daniel should have been torn to pieces. But look how good God is. Even when you're in the lion's den, God will some kind of way make your enemies your footstool. He'll take the lion's appetite. And some kind of way you're able to make it out because of the goodness of God. Give God praise this morning. And I'm here to tell you that God will deliver you from the lion's den. All you got to do is trust him this morning. Give God a hand clap of praise. We're going to ask every person to stand this morning. And I'm going to ask Deacon Bell to come and open the doors of the church. And this morning, if there's one that wants to come, they can come this morning.